Mr. Ramsbottom went to the races, a thing as he'd ne'er done before, and as luck always follers beginners, won £5, no less and no more. He felt himself suddenly tempted to indulge in some reckless orgy, so he went to a cafetiere and had a dressed crab with his tea. He were crunching the claws at the finish and wondering what next he would do. Then his thoughts turned to home and to mother, and what she would say when she knew. For mother were dead against racing and said as she thought 'twere a sin for people to gamble their money unless they were certain to win. These homely domestic reflections seemed to cast quite a gloom on Pa's day. He thought he'd best take home a present and square up the matter that way. 'Twere a bit of a job to decide on what best to select for this heir, so he started to look in shop winders in hopes as he'd get some idea. He saw some strange stuff in a fruit shop like leeks with their knobby ends gone. It were done up in bundles like firewood. Said Pa to the shopman, "What's yon?" "That's asparagus." "What the toffs eat," were the answer. Said Pa, "Little suit, I'd best take a couple of bundles, for mother's a bobby for fruit." He started off home with his purchase and pictured Ma all the next week eating asparagus fried with her bacon or mashed up in bubble and squeak. He knew when she heard he'd been racing she'd very nigh talk him to death, so he thought as he'd call in the local to strengthen his nerve and his breath. He had hardly got up to the counter when a friend of his walked in the bar. He said, "What ye got in the bundle?" "A present for mother," said Pa. "Asparagus stuff with the toffs eats." His friend said, "It's a rum-looking plant. Can I have the green ends for my rabbits?" Said Pa, "I cut off what you want." He cut all the tips off one bundle, then some more friends arrived one by one, and all of them seemed to keep rabbits. Pa had no green ends left when they'd done. When he got home the ooze were in darkness, so he slipped in as sly as a fox, laid asparagus on kitchen table and crept up to bed in his socks. He got in without waking mother, a truly remarkable feat, and pictured her telling the neighbors as 'twere asparagus what the toffs eat. But when he woke up in the morning it were nigh on 10:15, there were no signs of mother, or breakfast. Said Pa, "What's she done with her sen?" He shouted, "What's up there in tea kitchen?" She replied, "You do well to inquire, them bundles of chips as you brought home is so damp, I can't light the fire."